Noise. Hey, okay.
Hello.
Hey, Jesse, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You can
Good.
hear me?
Yes, I can. I can. Thank you for checking because you never know. Yeah, this is exciting. So, just a little information about you. Madrona Manor is first of all, it's a great place to stay, but they have an amazing restaurant. Jesse is the brains behind that restaurant, and he's been doing it for quite a while. We'll get into that, but it's just a great place to stay and eat. Beautiful views. It's just 2 miles down the road on West Dry Creek from us, so we've really been sort of neighbors for a long time. But though we've eaten at your restaurant, I've never actually met you. So this is going to be, we've certainly talked a little bit, but this will be fun to just kind of get to know you. So um, without further ado, we'll kind of dig in. Tonight we'll be talking about the Redwood Hill. I think you've had a chance to try it. In fact, you did a nice little post there of something you had paired up with it. So tell us what you're going to do tonight and kind of what you think, and we'll just run with it.
Yeah. So I'm basically gonna make the same thing I made before. Just kind of stuck. I've been stuck at home, ordering food delivered primarily. I mean, I'm cooking. I'm cooking everything because it seems crazy not for me not to cook.
Yeah,
But
seems a little
I'm
counter.
doing a kind of play off of coq au vin, which traditionally is made with rooster, an old tough chicken that you want to braise for a long time. In this case, I'm confitting it. It's sous vide in a little bacon fat. We'll get it nice and crispy, and then do like red wine sauce with some mushrooms and onions and garlic and stuff in there.
Love it, love it.
Yeah, it was really nice with the wine when I had it. My wife and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you. Just a little bit about that wine for everybody's benefit before we kind of dig into the food. The Redwood Hill we only had 1 year of that, and it was a one-off, but it wasn't really by choice. We love that wine. As you may know, Jesse, and as others may know, Redwood Hill was a vineyard in the Fountain Grove area, which in 2017 was hit by the Tubbs fires. So that vineyard really just didn't come back, unfortunately. But we love the site. It's 1,000 feet, volcanic soil. You're above the fog line. You're going to have those warm days, but you're going to get the cold nights that you really want on a cab. That massive temperature swing is kind of what you're shooting for. So it's a great site. Really a lot going on with it, and I think it pairs well with a lot. 100% French oak, so it's got the tannins, but it's not overly so. I kind of think of it as silky and smooth. So let's see.
Yeah,
Let's see.
nice.
What I would love, if you don't mind, because you said confit, and my little brother, he loves to say the word confit. I don't even know if he likes it or knows about, but he just loves to say duck confit. So tell us a little bit about what a confit is, because I had to look it up myself to actually make sure I knew.
Confit is something that is cooked in its own fat. Traditionally, it's either pork or most common duck. So it's the duck legs, it's kind of the tougher meat. You salt it and then you cook it slowly in its own fat, and it's a way of preserving it. So, they harvest all their ducks, they cook all the legs in the fat, and they can store it in your cellar all winter long, and that way you'd have meat to eat. So it's a kind of it's a traditional way of preserving meat. So it's nice and tender, and it's very, very moist.
You do it at a lower temperature, Jesse. Is that right?
Lower temperature.
Yeah.
In the oven, you do about 275 degrees. I'm doing it sous vide in a vacuum bag.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't want to have the oven hot all day in my house because it's warm. So
it is indeed.
and
It is warm.
Doing a small batch. I don't have enough chicken fat to do it, so I had a little bit of bacon fat left over from breakfast. So I just put that in a bag, and that way you don't need as much fat either. So it's a good way to do it at your home.
I'm all about it. You want to? I don't know if your camera's set up to show us kind of what's happening.
Yeah, I can kind of carry it around here on my iPad. So.
Sure, buddy. What's cooking? And by the way, we have Joaquin Rodas that joined. He's the chef and owner of Bacchanal in New Orleans. I don't know if you've ever been there, but another. He was with us about a month and a half ago, and he did a little cooking thing with our Dry Creek. So I think he's excited to see what you've come up with.
Yes, it is fun. So we got, let's see, how is this working? Okay. This is my immersion circulator, my water bath here. I've got my my chicken in the bag floating here. I put the chicken in the bag with thyme, garlic, bacon fat. It's been cooking for about 4 hours at 73 degrees Celsius, so 160-ish Fahrenheit. So it's just a nice tender way. because in the bag it's cooking, you're not losing all the flavor. It's going to really infuse with the garlic and the thyme, and it's going to be really nice, especially with some of the herbal notes of the wine. It's really nice with that.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. So first of all, it is it's a long process, right? So it's probably a little bit more of a time investment, but it sounds like it's going to make it really super tender, which is what I hate when chicken's
super
dry
tender, and then and then we got a nonstick pan. We're going to get nice and hot, and we'll crisp the skin, so you have a nice crispy skin and tender meat, and we'll have all the normal sauce of the coq au vin made on the side. Made a really rich chicken stock, and some cremini mushrooms, onions. Traditionally it's pearl onions, but the store was out of them. They didn't deliver them to me, so we're just using regular onions. We can improvise here a little bit.
All right. Well, as you're working, I'll kind of talk a little bit, and I don't know what stage you have left, if anything, but I'll tell people a little bit about you, because I looked you up. I was curious, so tell me what I'm getting wrong. But you've been at Madrona Manor since 1999.
1999, yeah. It's I was really going to be there for 3 years, and Trudy Conrad, the owners are great. They really, they're probably my favorite people I've ever worked for. They give you enough support, and they don't harass you too much. So it's really nice.
I mean, right? You want to have free reign in the kitchen, but you also want to have people that are involved. So that's awesome. And I noticed, so a little bit of history about you. Is it correct that you started as a dishwasher? Your first job in the kitchen was a dishwasher, and the chef didn't show up one night or something, and you had to fill it?
It wasn't the chef. It was one of the cooks. Yeah, I was a 16-year-old skate punk. I had a mohawk, and the only job I could find was somewhere where I was hidden in the back, and no one could see my hair or whatever color hair it was that week.
That's
washing
good.
dishes, and cook didn't show up because sometimes what cooks do. And Jesse, get over here, help us out, help us plate, and
I love it. And so you
at that point.
So I guess you got bit with the bug, and you fell in love with it. And you've been at some other restaurants, of course, and I'll let you do the names, but I certainly know the name Gary Danko, and it looks like you've had kind of a long run. And of course, I mentioned to people, and I hope I'm right, that you have the Michelin stars, of course, with the restaurant, and which is pretty exciting. I mean, I don't know, for those that are watching.
Yeah, we've had a Michelin star for, I think it's 13 years now.
It's unbelievable.
So that's it.
So yeah, it's quite a run.
Nervous when you get the call from them.
Yeah, right. Are they going to stop you? Yeah. No, that's awesome.
I mean, you don't know when the inspectors are coming in, but they're going to come in at some point.
Yeah, right. And I also learned that history. So guys, Michelin, apparently it's like an anonymous customer. You don't know he's coming. They don't, or he or she, and they don't take notes. And then you just find out that they were there, right? And what the judgment is.
Yeah. So they usually get an email a couple weeks before the guy comes out, and they said, "Hey, is this your phone? What's your phone number?" You're like, "Okay, that's usually a good sign." And then the day of, you gotta check Twitter, and the chefs are posting, "Hey, Michelin called, and I kept my star, or got bumped up, or whatever." So you're gonna get the call at some point. So it's always a good feeling.
It's got to be a great feeling. That's kind of top of the world stuff. I love it. Tell us more. And I've really, while we're cooking, feel free to just kind of talk about the food, but please tell us more about what's happening at Madrona. I'm sure people want to know when things are going to be,
Yeah. So we're currently closed, and we're trying to figure out when we want to do it. We want to keep our guests safe and our employees safe as well. So we are, still talking over when we want to open up. Also want to make sure there's, enough guests to keep our staff busy.
Right.
Hopefully, when the wineries are starting to open back up now, we see some interest. We do have a large outdoor dining, so that's pretty nice. So once we open up the restaurant, there's going to be a lot of outdoor dining, lots of table space far apart, so people can really enjoy the outdoor. It's always our favorite part. Everyone loves to eat outside anyways in the summer. So
I love it anyway. I mean, it's so pretty. You've got the great views. You pretty much have the same views as us, but just a little bit further down the road. So you get to see Fitch Mountain. And I think we're losing you just briefly,
Joaquin is asking
Jesse.
if he remembers.
Oh, I think we've lost Jesse for one. There we go. Well, this is just, we always tell people this is just what it's like to do live anything. There you go. The signal can kind of go in and out. No biggie. Yeah, so I have a question here from Joaquin. That Joaquin wrote us in New Orleans. He says, "Chef, do you remember Zach Engel?" I don't know if that came through.
Um,
Jesse, you hear me?
if you
Okay.
can hear me, I cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
We got bacon and onions cooking, large kind of the base of the sauce. We're gonna onions and bacon until the onions are, and then we're gonna add some mushroom to that, the glaze, a little cognac, and then some red wine.
Love it. So that's a good question. So when you're cooking and you're putting red wine in your, what you're cooking, is it do you normally like gravitate to something? I mean, does it have to be just kind of anything red, or is there something that you like to go to when you're cooking that?
Well, normally when I'm cooking, especially at home, if I have a little bit of red wine left over at the end of the bottle and I don't feel like drinking it, I'll just pour it in an ice cube tray and throw it in the freezer. I do that with any wine that I don't finish, and that way I always have a little bit of wine to cook with at home. Doesn't really work that way in the restaurant because you do much larger volume, but the way I always have
Yeah, no,
wine to cook.
you have an amazing wine list there, and and I'd be remiss if I didn't say that we want to be on it at some point. We really love the restaurant, and so hopefully this will
Yeah, we'll definitely
tempt Madrona Manor, because I think it's a good pairing being down the road. So yeah, so the question, I don't know if you heard it from Chef Rodas, was, do you know, was it Zach Engel?
Yes.
Zach Engel. I don't know if you heard that, Jesse. And we're gonna have wireless issues. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Zach.
Okay.
Zach worked with me for a while.
Okay.
He's a great guy. He's one of the
Good.
You get emails from people like, hey, I want a job, and I think he was living in New Jersey or Philly at the time, and apply from across country. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to hire you across country because I need to make sure my kitchen's down. But he was just so professional. We had a conversation. He said, he promised me, gave me his word that he'd come out, move out, and so he came. Such a great part of our team and helping us keep our star, and he's always and he's gone on to great things since he moved back to New Orleans, and now he's in Chicago.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. And I'll just tell you that I've been kind of looking at the comments, and it's definitely people saying they love Madrona Manor, and they, I think they're all looking forward to it coming back. So I'll be there day one.
Yeah, I can't wait. So hopefully it's we're thinking the next couple of weeks, but I mean, we're kind of taking it, day by day. We'll figure it out how we really want to do it.
And and you know what? It changes day by day. I mean, the same thing's true of our winery. We're going to start doing tastings at the winery again, but it's so, for the first 2 weeks, I think we're going to have a food pairing. That's part of kind of the protocol to make sure that, people are not hitting 5 tasting rooms and kind of overcrowding. So I think it's a good idea, but then it'll hopefully kind of morph back into a regular tasting setting. So, and of course, we're going to try to have some tastings here at a safe distance in the near future. So yeah, that's exciting.
Well, I know the pent-up demand. I want to get back in the kitchen.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure you enjoy your
meal
kitchen,
at home is driving me crazy.
But you have all those tools and everything, and all the food you could possibly imagine at your place at the restaurant. So absolutely. And just again, feel free to show us the food. Feel free to show us food as you're going. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more. So when you tried this Redwood, when I have it, it's I think it really does. It's interesting. You have the chicken with it, and people probably are like, well, do you normally have chicken with a cab? This cab is a little bit lighter. It tends to be like a California Cabernet. It's a little bit darker fruit. You get the blackberry, but you also get that dark cherry. It's just got a lot going on, kind of a sweet tobacco, if you can imagine. Really pretty minerality, and that French oak has done some really wonderful things to it. So it really does have a range. And people say, oh, I'm supposed to have a cab with a steak, and I'm like, no, there's absolutely a lot of things you can have with cab. And I'm glad that you did a different meat, than just a steak or a ribeye. Although those are great with cab, people need to know that it really can, especially when you're doing it the way that a lot of these Sonoma cab makers do it. It has a lot of range.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, it's always you should drink what you want to eat with your food. I mean, it's especially you're cooking at home, and it in a restaurant when we put a dish on the menu, and we pair the wine with the dish, we sometimes we open up 10 or 15 different bottles of wine to try and get that wine pairing really nice. I mean, it's, depending on how many people you have, how many bottles of wine you really open up at your house.
That's
enjoy it, and
you open that bottle.
Especially if you have some you have nice herbs in your food. I think that really helps with the wine pairing. And don't be afraid to try something different with your wine.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because people are always saying, I love wine, but I don't really know a lot about pairing with food when I'm cooking at home. And I always say, just try it. The worst case scenario is you have a good glass of wine and maybe you have it before you have your meal if it's not kind of quite working. But no, I absolutely agree. There's a lot. I mean, Zinfandel is another example. We make a Zin, and you can put a Zin with almost anything, and it really has a lot of range.
So let's
see what's happening.
Mushrooms cooking here in the pan, and I've got my chicken. I pulled it out of the bag. It's sitting on a paper towel to kind of get rid of some of the juice. I got a non-stick pan. I'm gonna start crisping up the skin in the non-stick pan. You can also use a cast iron. Normally I cook with a cast iron, but just since I'm not going to be paying attention to it,
so
I'm going to talk to you and cook at the same time.
Yeah, I know it's got to be hard, and I apologize. Sometimes it's like we ask a million questions while you're trying to focus, but I'm sure that happens a lot in the kitchen, right? So yeah, So are you saying that you think a cast iron skillet's the way to go for that dish?
I mean, I pretty much use a cast iron for all of my cooking at home.
Do you?
It's when it's nicely seasoned. It's pretty much non-stick, anyways.
Yeah, I have a question.
And then in the restaurant, we use a lot of blue steel, just because same idea, but it's not as heavy as cast iron.
Right.
Cast iron is pretty heavy.
Do you clean the cast iron skillet a lot? Like, I heard that you're not really supposed to clean it much. Is that just a myth, or is there some truth to it?
I mean, yeah, some people say you should never use soap with your iron, and I find that I do use soap. I mean, a lot of times I just wipe it out, but if you can, well, it's frozen again.
So another thing about our tastings, Jesse, is the dog will often just start barking, and it's all part of the experience. So that's Stella, and she never lets us go without at least being heard a few times. So apologies. So let's see. There's Patty, and my sister's joined. She's always on. She does a trivia question at the end. I forgot to mention that.
Chicken here. Cooking. So I'm gonna cook it on the. It's already warm out of the water, cooked all the way through. So all I'm doing now is I'm just crisping the skin. So I'm giving the skin side down in the pan, and it's gonna cook it on a medium heat until the skin is nice and crispy. And that way we'll have a nice crunchy skin with this. Which is traditionally a braised meat, a braised dish, but it's nice to have a kind of fun texture to have that crispy skin served with a traditional braised dish.
Jesse, your notes, the notes on you on your bio said that you kind of have a French influence, but you obviously you're not. I'm just curious, what is that kind of where you started doing a lot of French cooking, or is it just sort of kind of your base?
My first job was at a place called Restaurant Matisse in Santa Rosa, and that was a kind of a California French restaurant. So then I worked for Gary Danko for a while, and he's very, very French, and worked with Jeremiah Tower at Stars in San Francisco, and he's the godfather of California cuisine, but definitely he loved the classic French dishes.
Yeah. We're from New Orleans, so that's sort of a big New Orleans thing. We have a lot of French restaurants, of course, and I think they're all pretty good quality. And I think it's one of the reasons that we've loved Cab as a family, because of course Cab goes with a lot of these dishes, and That's the first wine that we made, I think, probably for that reason. We just love it with so many of these dishes that we're used to from New Orleans. So it's nice to see a similar style. And we've certainly been to your restaurant, and I think when we were going, it was a sort of a tasting menu. I think maybe there were one or two, you kind of run through. Is that still the way that you guys are going to be doing it, or?
We're gonna have a tasting menu, probably a five-course tasting menu, and then we'll have a cart menu as well. And we're still every Wednesday we do a fried chicken dinner. That it originally started when the fires. We had a wedding booked, and they had the wedding. We had all this chicken left over. The wedding got canceled, and we're like, what are we gonna do with all this chicken? Well, why don't we invited all the firefighters and people who lost their homes in for fried chicken, because it's something we'd have for employee meal all the time, and we thought that'd just kind of be a one-off thing. People kept calling back like, when are you having that fried chicken again? When are you having that fried? So finally we're like, all right, every Wednesday fried chicken, $29, salad, a 3-piece fried chicken with mashed potatoes and gravy and the fixings, and then whatever.
You laugh.
Like
But I'm telling you that I had a friend say, we have to go to fried chicken night at Madrona Manor. We didn't make it, but I mean, he kept saying, and it was just because Wednesdays were not working out well, but that was a thing. People were talking about fried chicken night for sure.
Yeah, it's good, nice and crispy, and I actually based recipe off something Zach used to do.
Oh, okay. See, there you go, Joaquin.
So he brought he's the one who kind of showed us how to brought it to the family meal thing, and then we're like, hey, all right. So I got my my mushrooms here. I'm going to glaze a little cognac.
Love it. How long does this, Jesse, how long are you going to be doing this part of it? Is it like, I'm curious, is it something that people,
Reduce the cognac down. Cooking?
Yeah. You're kind of coming in and out again. I'm sorry. It's okay. There he is. This is, by the way, this is what happens to us every time.
There we go.
We have this wonderful technology that never works, right?
Yeah.
There it is.
My words.
Good. Can you hear me okay? I want to make sure I can see that dish. It looks great.
I can hear you. Yeah. We're good.
Good.
I put the wine in the pan. The wine's reducing now. Kind of reduce that down on. I do pretty high heat. Just let it come down till it's pretty much dry, and then I'm gonna to it, and then our chicken is crisping in the pan, and we'll be ready to go. Probably not too much longer.
No, that's great. So you had a lot of prep time, but the actual cooking doesn't seem like it was that terrible. Like 20 minutes, right? I mean, once you get in the pan.
How long have you guys been
is that
making
fair?
wine?
No, I think we might even have a delay. It's okay. I was saying that while it takes a lot of time probably to prep all of that, but once you actually start cooking in the pan, it doesn't look so bad. There it is. Wonderful world of technology. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's on mute.
Yeah. Can you see my mouth move? There he is.
He's the one that's taking
Let's see what we have. There it is.
Yeah, so we got the red wine reducing in the pan with the mushrooms, the onions. Got the chicken getting crispy in the pan. I got some heating up. We're gonna add the chicken stock to the pan, and then we'll.
Love it. Well, I mean, if you guys can hear me, okay, we're getting Jesse kind of in and out. Hopefully we'll get him back a little bit. I'm gonna just ramble until he gets his feedback, but hopefully maybe now. Could always bring in my co-host.
Can you hear? Okay, I'm back. We're back.
I can hear you. Yeah.
So you got,
Let's see what you got. It's just, it sounds really good. We'll say that. There it is. There, he's back. He's back.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a little frozen, but it's okay. We can hear it sizzle. There we go. Yeah. Now we can see the stove. It's good. I'm just gonna watch and let you go. You just, there you go.
I blame maybe my kids are on the Xbox or something. I don't know.
That's okay. Oh, look at that! Wow. Yeah, that looks great. So tell us, Jesse, why you kind of like that dish in particular with this Redwood Hill. Can you hear me?
So here's
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I'm getting it. That was worth the wait. Wow.
then we got our mushroom in the pan. The thyme Bailey.
I'm seeing you okay. We're just kind of watching the show at this point. You
How
just tell
many
us, show us what you're cooking because it's hard to.
vintages
So
have you
we
guys
have
made so far?
we yeah. So hopefully you can hear me. We did our first vintage in 2014. So 2014 we had two cabs. We had Sonoma Valley and our Dry Creek Valley here. I think he's gonna go say get the kids off the internet. But while he's talking, we had the 2014s. We had two cabs in 2015, and then ultimately we switched the 2016 to this fountain.
I got my son. He's a camp.
Okay, there you go. I like that.
Just hold it there, and I'll tilt the pan towards it. So we got
Wow.
our sauce here: chicken stock, lardones, mushrooms, and almost reduced enough. Got my chicken in the pan here. The skin's getting nice. So I have the legs and the thighs. You don't really want to use breast. It's a little more tender, and you want the dark meats that are just nicer when they're cooked sous vide. And it also has a little more flavor.
A little more,
it's kind of still trying to mimic that
yeah.
toughness of the roosters. That's why you want to use your dark meat. So use your breast or something. Save your breast or something another meal. And there's plenty of with the bacon and the mushroom stuff. There's plenty there. You don't need a whole chicken to eat.
It looks fantastic. We're getting plenty now. It's good feed now, so it looks great. It was a little choppy, but I think we're okay now. Hopefully.
Good. Yeah, I think it helps when someone's holding a meat, trying to tilt it upside down. And
yeah. See if we can get him to like angle over the food.
A little bit of butter as well, because what's French food without butter?
Right. Well, I mean, New Orleans is all about butter. I mean, everything is cooked in butter, so we're used to it. Oh wow, yeah. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, Venera Rodriguez. That's one of our followers. I know her. So, what are you pairing with that, Jesse? Is this like potatoes? Oh yeah.
In with the chicken.
So while Jesse's cooking that, we'll talk a little bit about. So he's done some really nice herbs with that, and that's going to pair really well with the redwood. The redwood cab has a lot of minerality going on, so I definitely get where he's going with this. That dark chicken has a lot of flavor. So let's see how it looks plated. I'm kind of doing a play-by-play at this point.
Is it chicken or duck?
No, it's chicken. Yeah. And I'm gonna play by play, Jesse, just in case they can't hear you, because it looks like we're still having that feed. But the pictures look great, as does, and it sounds really good. I think we're.
And
It's looking pretty good. There it is. Oh wow, wow.
bacon.
Right.
There we go. So again, potatoes, just kind of. I mean, it really didn't
So
take,
Jesse, you don't really even
didn't
need
really
to.
take that long. Other than if
You don't even really need to
spent some
tend to it.
time
You can
earlier
just leave it in the
throwing chicken
bag.
in the bag.
Yeah, it's 4 hours,
Let it
but
cook
you're
away
not
while
really
you
having to
were
monitor,
for a hike
right?
with the family, and then everything else I just cooked here while we were talking. So it's pretty quick meal for home. Yeah, you don't have to. So that's kind of what's nice about it. Just there's some great resources out there for home cooks cooking sous vide now as well. So it's pretty easy to do. Back in the day when it first came out, when I first started doing it, there was no information at all on it, and you
Now
figure
there's
out
that
what temperature
internet
you want to
thing.
cook something at. You just experimenting, like
So Jesse, is this a
put the
dish?
chicken breasts in
Is
here
this
and
a
see how
dish that
long
people can
it
get at
tastes.
Madrona Manor?
Lots of notes, and now you can just kind of Google confit chicken
Jesse's
sous vide,
special.
and there's the recipes online now, so it makes life pretty easy.
I love it.
Yeah. No, this isn't. This is
Yeah, well, you know
not
what?
something we do.
Uh,
It's just kind of something at home.
we've
Yeah.
tortured them
Yeah.
enough, but
Most of our food is a little more,
the food looks
not quite
amazing.
as
I think they got a good view of it.
wholesome.
Is there? So you
You
would
guys want
just
to go?
kind of serve that
Okay.
right out of the
Kids want to leave.
right out of the pan, and then is there
They
anything
don't.
that you would want to
They
pair
don't
like for
camera
a dessert?
anymore.
I mean, just in general, is there something
They're
that you
doing
have a
something
go-to that you
outside.
would do with that dish?
Yeah, so probably start with like a salad with a nice vinaigrette, tart vinaigrette. Just because this is going to it's still going to be pretty rich. So you
Yeah,
want to kind of
that's
lighten up the
awesome.
meal and then finish
It
it.
sounds really good, actually.
Right now I got some really peaches the other day, or I picked some plum
So
at my
you're
walk, so I'd probably do like a plum dessert, something like that. Maybe a plum crisp or something like that.
right, but your
The
family
food I
is
cook
kind of
at home
lucky.
is
I mean, if you
I
have to be
try and
stuck
do
at home,
is simple,
having a chef
pretty
like
simple.
you
So
must be a bit of a treat. I mean,
yeah,
hey Dad, whip me up
generally,
some
especially when
French
I'm
toast.
cooking in the restaurant, when I'm cooking at home, it's like I don't want to spend all day in the kitchen. Yeah, I mean, you know,
I'm the opposite, Jesse. That people say I have the palate of a
my
3-year-old.
kids have pretty great palates.
I know what
They
I
eat
like,
almost
and that looks
everything.
good.
So
No doubt
I'm pretty
about it.
lucky that I can cook whatever I
Well,
want for
look,
them.
it's with the internet kind of
They're good
popping
at
in and
experimenting.
out. I think what we'll do is maybe just sort of wind down. And what I really want to encourage people to do is to come see you at Madrona Manor. So hopefully that you heard that, because I think when it reopens in roughly 2 weeks, people, if you're local or if you're coming to visit, please come to Madrona Manor, see what Jesse's doing. I mean, he always has amazing food, and of course, great wine there, and it's really close to us. So come for a tasting while. Oh yeah, and such a
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
do
and if
that.
you're
And
visiting, it's a great place
looking
to
forward to the
stay.
one that you dropped off. I appreciate
Oh
it.
yeah, we can't wait either.
And just follow us
I'm
on
just thrilled that you
Instagram,
did this
Madrona
with us, and
Manor,
we can't thank you
and
enough.
or Facebook,
We'll see you soon, hopefully.
and we'll
All
announce
right,
when we're
thanks
opening
so
up,
much, buddy.
and it's gonna be should be good.
Bye. Okay, so hopefully the signal's a little bit better. We had some in and out, but what I got looked great. I mean, it was an amazing looking dish, and that's the point, right, guys? This Redwood Hill, it's a special wine. This vineyard's no longer with us, so this is the last you'll get of this mountain site, right? 1,000 feet, really interesting soils. It is a beautiful wine. We only made 86 cases of it. It is not a club exclusive. You can get it just as a non-club member, but you're limited to a case in your entire buying life. So we do that, and we do that on all of our wines because we don't want somebody to buy them up and then dominate it and people can't get them. So we have a library. If you're in the club, you can go back to old years, and we've managed to keep these wines for a while. So it's been working, and hopefully the demand will stay steady, and we'll be able to continue to give you these wines maybe a little bit later after they've aged some. And but there's not a lot of this redwood left, so I do suggest you get it now while you can. And it obviously pairs with a lot of things. It's really beautiful wine. So advantage of club, you can get these wines when we retire them. We save the last 30 cases for the club only, and this one will be in that 30 very soon. So we definitely want to encourage you to join the club and check out this wine and so many others. So back to kind of what we do here. And there's Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. What we try to do towards the end is make it a little bit fun. We talked wine, we talked food, which of course is fun, but we want to do something interesting. And every week we do a trivia contest. So before we patch in my sister, Patty, we will just do a little bit of notes. We're going to have another tasting in 2 weeks. You know that. We don't have a guest set yet. We were thinking about maybe doing something with New Orleans Wine and Food Experience. So I think that's probably what it's going to be, but it'll be fun. And if not, I kind of like it when we just patch you guys in and we do a night of talking and drinking. And hopefully all of you are drinking some fun stuff, whether it's Flambeaux or not. That's the whole point of this, is sort of a happy hour. So without further ado, let's add my sister Patty in. And she has some, if I can get it to work. There she is. All right. Hopefully that works. And she's going to have a trivia question for us. And I think it's going to be sort of consistent with our theme of Michelin and restaurants. And see what she's got. What's up, Patty?
Hello. That was so great. That looked delicious. Good job.
Yeah. Okay, well, what do you got for everybody?
All right. In honor of Jesse, the trivia question tonight is, how many Michelin-starred restaurants are there in Sonoma?
Okay, well, we know at least one, right?
We know there's at least one.
And by the way, guys, if you win, we do have prizes. We don't like to let you leave empty-handed. If you're good enough at guessing, you will get this Flambeaux hat. We will send it to you. We'll find your address and we'll get it to you. So, wait, holy cow! that took like 12 seconds. Okay, I'm sorry I missed the name, but we definitely acknowledge that there was somebody that said 3. It was JR. Was it JR?
JRISIUS.
JRISIUS. And I apologize that it's not registering with me. I may very well know you, but congratulations.
JR, you just won a Flambeaux hat. Well done.
Congratulations. Wear it proudly. Look, Joaquin said 3. I guess he wants to get a hat too.
Yeah. Joaquin's copying JR now.
There it is, Jeff. Okay. Hey, Jeff. So we're going to get you the hat. It was a great, I don't know if you knew the answer, if you just guessed well, but it's
good guess, Jeff.
Probably knew. But
should we mention what they are? All right, we should say what they are.
Yes,
so,
please.
Single Thread, Farmhouse, and of course, Madrona Manor.
Madrona Manor. Yes, and those are 3 amazing restaurants, and that's the point, guys. This is Sonoma County. This town of Healdsburg is like, 10,000 people, and yet we have these amazing restaurants within, 10 miles in every direction, and 3 Michelin-star restaurants in Sonoma County alone. So it's a great point. We
it's the place to be.
Good food. Come visit. Come check out that food. Patty, thank you for being patient and coming in and doing your trivia.
Great to see you. Thanks, you guys.
All right. So that kind of gets us towards the end. Now, if anybody wants to join, if they want to show us what they're drinking, you can do that. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll start to wind down. I did tell you about the next tasting, but guys, fun facts. Father's Day is coming up. Order your Father's Day wine. We have some packages, so if Dad's hard to shop for, you can get, like, I think there's a 3-cab package where you can do a vertical, and then we have a Dry Creek package where it's the rosé, the Zin, and the cab from this property, all different years, so it's kind of fun. Dad would enjoy it. And then we also have another package for the next tasting. So please check those out if you want to join us at the virtual tasting and have Flambeaux. Order it. We have a summer solution shipping option, so it will get to you as we intended. It will not be cooked, I promise you. It's a little bit more expensive, but not much, because the Postal Service has been working with us. So, and I didn't even get my co-host in the shot. I'd like to get her in before she leaves, because she looks so pretty. We're gonna put her on the chair. All right, there she. What? She wants the guest star for the next one to be Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so if anybody knows Drew Barrymore, just, you know, drop her a line. She and I actually have like a birthday, like a couple days apart, so we have that in common. If you want to tell her that we were really close in age, and I saw her in ET when I was little, maybe that's the hook that we need. I don't know. But yeah, and by the way, dads are hard to shop for. She's been saying that, so there's a great point about the wine. So look, you got to hear Stella Bark. You got to see all of our tech issues that we have, but you did get to see some great food and a really beautiful wine paired with it. And you got to see this lovely co-host right here, and somebody won a hat. So it was a productive day. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. It's just going to be a tradition, and who knows what's in store. We'll surprise you. All right, guys.